Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me? Are we on the internet? I hope so. We see me. Can you hear me? Going good, Q. Saladin, how's everybody doing? Awesome, awesome. Quick couple of things to kind of kick this off. Again, sorry we weren't here last week. Decided to take a break, and so everybody could partake and enjoy Founders and Legends that was going on. If you didn't catch those streams, you should definitely go try to find them on VOD. They were a lot of fun to watch. A lot of fun was had. A lot of money was raised for Extra Life and the children, so it's all good. Quick things before we go into that is, again, reminding everybody is we're also signed up with Extra Life, so you can make donations and help help the kids and reach different milestones. I've got a milestone set right now. Question is, will y'all hit it? Additionally, we have the HP bar right there, been reset for the week. It's at 1,000. Every time you cheer, follow, host, subscribe, throw bits, whatnot, it knocks down that HP bar. And every time we knock down that HP bar, the party will get inspiration, which could help them in their next encounter. Given they already. How do you? Just gonna kick it off now, aren't we? Yeah, we're just gonna roll with it. That's awesome. Alrighty, so starting off with the party having inspiration right at the get-go. So that's always good. Got some other things to kind of promo and give a teaser on, but we'll get to that toward the end. So with that, we go ahead and bring in our players and do our recap and get started on what is happening. All right, good evening, everybody. How we doing? Goofy, game. All right, how about now? Can everybody hear me? Can I hear everybody?
Yes.
I can hear you.
Hello.
I can hear you.
Not hearing people. Hang on.
Check.
It's always something small. Always something small. Ah, that's what it is. Can't monitor the output and hear everybody. How about now? Everybody give me a quick sound check.
Doing good here.
Awesome.
Hello. Hello.
Okay. Sweet. Alrighty. So, where were we? Last we left off, the party had waited to the end of the house that had burned down and sat there and then rappelled off the cliff to get into the undersea cavern to use the boat that was moored up there and to take the casks of drink and the silk cloth to take it back to the city of Saltmarsh. Once they got back, they met with the city council, and the council had rewarded the party for their efforts in breaking up the smuggling ring. And as we left off, the party was approached by the council again because they had started investigating what was going on, and they feel that there is a larger ship or another ship that will come soon that has more of the smugglers and has more goods. So they have enlisted the help of the party to investigate what's going on with this ship and to finish dismantling the smuggling ring. So with that, we're gonna get right in with the party. And so you got to set this up, guys. You've been hired by the city council to investigate and trying to work out a plan of attack for finding the ship and then intercepting the ship.
And I can't remember exactly where. Did we have any leads at all? I can't remember.
Some of the leads you... Go ahead.
We have a bullseye lantern, and did we have a coded book with that? Or
Yes, there was a document that came with the lantern that was found. It gave a base. It gave some information. If you want to try and see if you can decipher the code, go ahead and give me an intelligence check.
like an investigation check?
Yep,
Or?
investigation.
I'm sorry, 15.
15. All right. With that, you are taking the document and the lantern. You're able to figure out that there's a set of signal. You can signal an incoming ship to sit there and let them know everything's safe. So it's just a matter of when to look for and how soon before you think the ship will arrive.
And was there anything in the book that indicated that at all?
No, but the council has, in their investigation, has determined that the goods have been offloaded recently, and that there's a chance the ship will come back over sometime probably at the next new moon, which should only be a few days. As a means to keep an eye out, they are sending out guards, patrols to look for anything out of the ordinary at night, and if they happen to see a ship coming in that they don't recognize, to let the council and in turn let you guys know so you can determine what to do next. Best guess is it probably is going to come somewhere near where the haunted house was.
All right, so we know we'll have to go back there. How far is it? It's just like 4 miles or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
it's a few miles. I mean, you can camp out. Okay. You can go up there and try and camp out and keep an eye out to maybe do the signal. Or you can wait till the guards come back and say that they do see that a ship has appeared.
We might want to take the boat back and put it back in the cove. I assume that's where they'd get the signal and be expecting to go.
Well, if the ship doesn't dock, we may need it to get out to the ship.
Yeah.
Point of fact on that, the council has decided to give you guys the use of one of a small fishing boat. There's 2 guards that are on standby who will operate that boat to and from. It's just a matter of where you want them to kind of stage and stand by.
So just given the distance, what do we estimate the time would be from here to the lighthouse by that fishing boat or whatever? That would take. It would
probably take you maybe a couple of hours at most. It takes a lot longer to walk there than it would be to take a ship or a boat down the coast to that location again. By doing that, you would definitely be in a better position to make it out to for the rendezvous, because it's a shorter distance.
Okay. Well, I'm good either way, guys. I think if we're going to do it, I would say, like, let's gear up and then either head and camp, or we could wait here and take the fishing boat out. Either way, it's fine with me.
I'm good either way.
Well, guys, I think we should wait for more information from the council if they know when a boat might be coming.
Okay.
This new moon, and take the boat back to the tunnels.
And we're supposed to be doing what with this ship again? I'm sorry, it's been a couple weeks.
That's fine. That's fine. The smugglers that you found inside the haunted house was only a small contingent. Most likely, they're the ones that are there to either offload or load what's on the ship. So the fact that there is probably a ship of some type that is coming to and from to disperse the goods. So this would be the other half of whatever the smuggling cartel is.
And they want us to go on and basically take care of this, correct?
Yes, they would.
Find out more information.
The council would like you to continue what you've done and to and remove the smugglers from the equation.
Who all has a good stealth capability here?
That's all right.
I'm decent. They don't have a dragon force. yet.
I have a +3, so yeah.
So we could probably be pretty sneaky.
Depending on where they dock, we're definitely going to want to figure out what to do, make a game plan.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll come in or we'll go. So they'll know that we'll be notified they're coming. We can shoot over there on that fishing boat and then be ready for them, basically. I doubt we would go out to them. I bet you they'd bring it in. I don't know.
Yeah, I would think that we'd be able to signal them to come into those tunnels underneath.
Yeah.
And we could ambush them in the tunnels once they put the boat in.
Does the council have any idea or suspect how many people may or may not be on the ship that are not friendly?
They are unaware. They just know. They're all the information they have to work with is that there is most likely a ship that comes to and from to offload goods for the smugglers to store inside the inside what was left of the house.
Do we know how big the ship is?
No.
When you guys were down there, because I wasn't there yet, how many were in that area?
I believe it was
Roughly.
We're looking, I mean, in total, maybe somewhere in the vicinity of, or maybe close to 7 to 8 smugglers.
Yeah, they probably couldn't get much more than that if they have to take in a longboat.
Yeah, somewhere. So we had two or three in the top, up in the top locker areas, up in the kind of like where the beds were, and then we had around 4 to 5 that were down in the tunnels near the or in the caverns. So yeah, my suggestion would be this: is if we are going to go in, I wouldn't say go in yet. I would allow them to dock and pull in, and then us block their exit with the boat, sneak in behind them, and then take them by surprise.
DM, as they're approaching this house that doesn't exist anymore, would they be able to see that the house doesn't exist from the water?
Depending on the weather conditions, and most probability is they're going to come in at night.
Okay, that may save us.
Yeah.
Because if they see the house isn't there, they may not stop.
Well, guys, like I said, once again, they'll be looking for a signal.
We'll probably have to signal from up top.
We can make the signal from a boat for them to come into the cove. What I suggest we do is we go to the cove early, get some rope or some chain that we can drag across the entrance to have it laying in the water, maybe attached to a couple loops that we drive into the stone on the edges, and then we can pull it up to stop the boat from leaving once it gets in.
That's right. Plus, we probably need a signal from where the house was, and then be able to get down quickly.
I don't think we signal from where the house is. I think we signal probably from the water, because there was a boat there.
But I don't know where you guys found the lantern, so I'm not 100% sure where that was. I would assume it would be you would signal from like the house area, and they would note it, because I don't know that you can see the cave from the. But again, I don't know where you guys found the lantern. Do you remember, Gilly? Was it inside the cave or was it in the house itself?
I believe the lantern was inside of the cavern.
Okay.
You're mostly right. The lantern was found inside of the finely furnished room that you determine is probably the Sniblets room. Had all that nice decorations and whatnot, because it was located under the on the table next to in that room. So.
Yeah, then you're right. I find it. We don't even need to go up top at all. Then. Yeah.
I don't think so. I think if we were on the water in the boat, We can make the signal. They have to have a return signal for us, something that tells us they saw the signal. We take our boat in, and they probably haven't even seen us by, or we can only send one person out, two people out with the boat, and then signal them to come in, and then ambush them when they land.
All right, so let's go then. I like the idea. Let's go acquire some chain then, like a big, huge, like a chain or something.
I don't know that it has to be huge, but yeah, we got to have something to be able to block them so that they don't get back in the boat and run away.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't be able to catch them.
Well, if the boat's too big to fit in the harbor or in this cave, they may only send a small boat out.
I'm assuming one of those long ships like that was in there probably.
That's what I would assume would come in. If all they have is a big boat, then we got a different kind of problem.
Just hope they don't expect us to go out there with the boat and come back.
Can we tell from the directions on there if that's what maybe the operation would normally be for us to come out to a big boat, or what are the signals that are actually on the?
The signals is from what you're seeing and the way the hood is like it would be a combination of short and long flashes of light from the shore as kind of a response to a signal that is put out by the ship. Looking at some of the other ships in the harbor and whatnot is the most. It seems like they would have one ship stored in the cave and another ship on the boat, and then they would just make trips back and forth to be as efficient as possible to get the goods off the ship and into the caverns.
Here's the real problem. We don't know what the signal is.
Yeah.
Because the guy that was upstairs ran away. So we have no idea to know what the signal is. The chances of us sending the right signal are basically zero.
True.
I thought we had a piece of paper, a parchment that told us what the signals were.
You see it's a combination of short and long, but it's going to be a matter of flipping it in the right sequence when you see the other ship's signal.
So I don't think that's a plan. I don't think we can do that because we're going to send the wrong signal and they're just going to leave. So I think we need plan B.
So plan B would be we're going to have to leave somebody in the boat looking like a decoy, like they've come across this cavern, and try to get these guys to come in and kind of interrogate him, either one of us, and while they pull us in or pull him in, whoever is captured or whoever draws the short stick, then they would have to interrogate him and we would take him that way.
We may need a party to go up onto the ship very stealthily and take them out that way. That may be the only way we get this and do this.
Yeah, well, we still got Gavin. We still got Findle, and we also still have
DM side note, are you playing the NPCs tonight, or are they just not available?
They are there, but they are spectators at most. They will stay in the fishing boat in the event that so that next session they could jump in, because it's going to be a little hard to run them and everything else. I'll just be up front.
Yeah, no worries. I just want to know what we're working with.
Right now, you're working with the 4 of you and the fishing boat, which will have 2 guards that'll man it, so you don't have to worry about any of the rowing or anything like that. It's just a matter of how you want to approach the ship when the ship is spotted. Right now, you're pretty much have the understanding that it will most likely be at night, in the dead of night, and it will be some type of signal before going out to the ship. So you have a couple of options when it gets to that point. You could just be lucky, and maybe they don't think that they get the right signal every time they come by. I mean, we are talking
Well, wonder if we could-
criminals. Some criminals are not the smartest bunch.
Yeah.
I wonder if we just go out there, like you guys said, wait for their signal, and then when they signal, use the fishing boat to go out there, like you're talking about, and then get out there and try to get on the boat. Because I think you're right. I don't think we're going to be able to signal them the right way.
I think we need one on Overwatch. Who's the
Yeah.
best marksman with a bow? I think we need at least one on Overwatch to cover our entrance and exit. Whoever is going on the ship.
If you're looking at shots like that, I could run Quibble for that, or you guys could take a look, and if somebody feels enterprising to try and balance two characters, you could run
Yeah.
somebody could run Quibble and the fact that he's arranged.
Okay, and does Quibble have night vision?
Yes, Quibble is an elf.
Thank you.
Yes, Quibble is a half elf ranger.
Well,
All right.
I'm a rogue, and I have pretty good stealth, so I have no problem in going aboard the ship.
Yeah, I'm definitely better in hand to hand. So that's my forte too.
So you guys you want to give up on trying to signal the ship? You just want to see as soon as we signal this, as soon as we see
Well,
them signal, we just
I
try to
assume-
sneak out there?
I assume the signal was in the book already. If it's not, I don't know. We're going to be able to guess it.
There's
we could
always
probably-
You know,
don't sell yourself short. There's always a chance. Let's think positive.
Sure.
well, we could put, and I'm not a big fan of splitting the party, but I can't see 4 or 5 people trying to stealth onto a boat. There's too many people to try and stealth properly. So we could stick 1 or 2 people in the cave area to signal, and if we get lucky, we kind of separate their party. We get a couple of people going towards the cave, a couple of us are up on the ship.
I'll take the cave. I'll sit in the caverns and wait, because I do have night vision, so I'm able to see and able to kind of.
Gilly, they may end up having posted the instructions somewhere where you found the lantern. You just didn't realize what it was. Maybe they've got a marking on a wall somewhere, and you could look for that where you found the hood.
Sure.
Let's all go. Let's do what I find. So let's all go there early and see if we can search it out together, and then we can lay out our stuff there. So let's go out there.
Okay.
And we should. Wonder if we should have the fishing boat kind of come close just in case.
And what time is it, DM? During the day?
Yeah, right now it's about midday for you guys, so to head out to the, you could be in the caverns by nightfall, and kind of watching.
I like that idea.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, I would still like a way to block that cavern entrance. I think we should buy some chain or some rope.
Do you think the boat itself could block it? Do you think the boat itself, the fishing boat, could just block it?
How big the cave is that, if we've seen the fishing boat, what do you think, DM?
Say that again.
Is the fishing boat big enough to block the cave entrance? If a longboat goes in there, would the fishing boat be able to block it off?
Not that large. It's definitely large enough for the entire party plus 2. So, but it's a little bit. It's probably roughly equivalent to the size of the a little bit bigger than the longboat than you guys were. Maybe at most probably a keelboat size. So it'd be a little bit bigger than what you took to come down from the caverns, but not big enough to be any kind of obstacle for a larger ship. And to clarify, you have the parchment that comes with the lander does have the code, so you do have a pretty good chance of signaling correctly with the lantern.
Okay.
Had to double check something. Yeah. So you'd have a better chance than you did before.
And I like that idea. Let's just get some rope, and we could actually tie it to the ship, and the ship could go across, and that would keep it from going out. Like you were talking about with the chain, I found it. If we don't have a chain, if it's just a longboat, they're not gonna be able to get out even with like a rope, probably, right? If it's anchored.
Was your question about the ship that you're looking for, or the ship that is provided for you to try and board the smuggler ship?
Well, I'm just thinking if we just basically we can go out there to the cave, and we could like anchor the rope into, let's just say, the left side of the cave, and then when they go in, then the fishing boat can just kind of sail across it, and then now we have a rope across the whole thing, and that longboat can't get back out again. Is that what you were thinking? I found it, something like that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is having a rope maybe under the water, and then pull it up so it's just so it's anchored just above the water line to stop anybody from rowing away. If we're all sitting in the cave trying to ambush them.
I like it. And then if we wanted to, Shad, we go to your idea too. And then after we've taken care of those guys, we could actually go out to the ship in their boat, like they're supposed to return, and we could take them out that way.
Depends on how many there are.
Sure.
If there's 20 people on that boat, there is no way the 4 or 6 of us, including the other 2 that aren't here, are going to be able to take them without doing it very, very quietly.
But we should be able to figure that out from maybe from one of the people that comes into the cavern.
Hopefully.
I like it.
Well, I say we go buy some needed
Good.
potions and other things before we get involved in the skirmish. So, do we have?
Are there any supplies on the ship they provided us? Are they giving us potions or rope or anything? Is there anything on there we can pilfer and use?
If you can get some basic supplies within reason. There's not a whole lot as far as magical items and things like that. What is it you guys want? What is it you guys are going to need?
Mostly just the rope. I mean, we would take healing potions if we could.
Yeah. Healing potion, some
Ballista.
Mangonels, cannons.
Wow, really?
Well,
No, I'm just small things.
how much gold does everybody have? I've only got 10 gold. I don't have enough for a potion, so.
We got some, and we sold. Didn't we get a reward?
we did.
Yeah, you did. You guys got 200 gold pieces to divide amongst yourselves.
Yeah. So I have about 30 now because we split that up.
Yeah, it's tough to sell too, but Quivel knows what all that is. He had the inventory.
Oh yeah, he was supposed to tell us. He didn't tell us.
All right, come on, Chad. Get that last little bit to knock down the HP bar, and I will give them some healing potions. I'm calling you out. Right there, it's 190 of 1100. Kill it, and
You're
all of
calling
these
me
guys are
out?
going to get healing potions.
You're calling me out.
No, not you, Shad. I'm calling out Chat. Chat.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was like, what?
All you guys watching and seeing them do this plotting and planning. Let's help them out. Knock down that HP bar so they can get some healing potions.
If we pull a little bit,
Thank
we
you,
have enough.
Naomi. Sorry.
All righty. As you guys are sitting there planning, a representative from the council comes and brings you guys healing potion, couple of some healing potions, one for everybody in the party.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thank you.
Ooh,
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys are the best. I'm sure there's rope on the boat, right? Steve, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
To do our-
all of them would have some amount of rope. If you wanted to bring in like chain, they could provide you with some chain to use in it. So you'd be able to get the supplies you need, chain and rope and things like that.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, like some eye hooks that we could pound into the stone.
All right.
Let's do it.
So let's get the rope and chain that we need. Let's get to the cave and get the show on the road.
Let's do it.
That works.
Okay.
So you guys load up and head out, and you get to the cave just about dusk. The fishing boat is able to kind of get in. It's a kind of a tight fit for the fishing boat, but it's a pretty good. But it allows you guys to realize that any ship larger than this would not fit in.
Will the boat that they're going to be bringing out fit?
It'll probably be a long. It'll probably be a long boat that comes off the ship, a lot like the one that you saw inside the cave. Those would be able to get in and out pretty quickly.
But there is room in there with our big boat in there as well.
A little bit.
Okay.
We should have brought a bunch of oil. We could have lit the water on fire.
I like it.
Wow. Just wow. All right. The chat's got a great idea. So the next reward, if we knock down the HP bar, is all of the party will get 1d10 extra temporary hit points. So knock down that HP bar, and the party get 1d10 extra hit points.
All right.
All right.
Okay, so we have all this stuff, and then we take off, I guess.
Yeah. You guys inside the cavern, kind of keeping watch.
I want to
set up all
go.
this stuff.
Yeah, and I want to go where they found the lantern and just see if there's anything on the wall, the floor, anything that may say how many short versus long for trouble versus everything's clear. Just checking.
Well, you have the document, so you could take a look at it yourself and give me an investigation. And if it's good, if it's high enough. Also, remember, you guys all have a inspiration you can use to roll advantage. Use it to roll advantage on a check or anything like that if you want.
18 plus 3, 21.
Alrighty. Taking a look at it, and based on the information that was given before, it looks like it's a 3-part system. You're looking for a signal that is a long, short, 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 and then you're supposed to reply with a short, long, and then you'll see long, long, long. That'll let you know it's ready. The ship is aware and ready for you guys.
Does our cove look out into the ocean or into a bay?
Your cove, it's a cavern that has it's kind of a secluded, but once you exit the mouth of the cavern, it's just you're looking out at the open sea.
We should be able to signal right from the edge of the water.
Yes, you should be able to signal right from the edge of the cave when you see it. Thanks for the subscriptions and the cheers. Keep them up, guys. Like I said, knock this HP bar down, and they'll get 1d10 temporary hit points.
Okay. Does anybody need any kind of rest before we go, or is everybody at max health?
I assume we've long rested, right?
Oh yeah, this has been several days since you came back, and now that you're here in the cavern, you're kind of on standby. So y'all have plenty of time to be adequately rested. Couple of days after you arrive, after you set up your watch to see for the ship, you do see a ship come into view. It's a few hundred feet out, or probably close to like 500 or 600 feet out, and you see it's a large ship, and you see the first part of the signal. You see a long, short blast of light, and you notice that after about 10 minutes, the signal appears again.
Okay. So we need to send short, long.
Yeah.
All right, who is going to do that?
Guess I'll do it.
Alrighty, Gilly, go ahead and give me a dexterity check.
Alrighty. Here
Great
we
dex
go.
check. See how it goes.
Ah, yes. A 19.
19, awesome. You are able to pull off the signal pretty much flawlessly, and you see the response long, long, long.
Perfect.
Alrighty, as I said, we got that HPI bar knocked down, so I am rolling my D10. And it is 5 temporary hit points to every member of the party as they go aboard this ship.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
Much
chat.
appreciated.
Let's help stack the deck for these guys. What do you say? So, it's the middle of the night. You've seen the flash. You have matched your signal. What is it you wish to do? You notice that
Did
the
she
ships.
come-
Well, let me give you real quick. Give me a survival check just to get a feel for the environment. Who wants to do that? Or it could be the whole party. Your choice.
I'm decent.
Okay.
I'm not.
All
I
right.
got a 17.
You got a 17, Gilly? All right.
I got a 15. So
All right.
I'll try it, but 7.
Okay. I found it. Are you going to make the attempt?
Sure, I had a 22.
Alrighty.
Oh.
So, as you guys get a feel for everything, you notice that it's about 40 degrees outside, or for those in the other system, about 5 degrees Celsius. The ocean temperature is about 50 degrees, or 10 degrees Celsius. There's a wind that is blowing from the north. You see it as it kind of comes across the water. It's a light wind, not too bad. The significant thing is it is a new moon, and there's no rain and only light cloud cover. So it's just mostly the stars providing any kind of ambient light. So as you're seeing the ship out there, it's just kind of a silhouette against the stars. To give
Can
you
we
guys that.
tell?
Oh, and the ship
based
and the
on
ship's
the size of the
the ship's
Yeah,
starboard side is facing the shore. Its port side is facing out to the sea. From what you could tell, is it looks like it's rough. It's probably a sailing ship, which is roughly 90 feet long, 20 feet wide, and 26 feet wide. And from the water line to the railing is about 7 or 8 feet, and then for the poop deck and the quarter deck, it's about 17 feet off the water. Just based on that size and what your knowledge is of sailing ships from your time inside Saltmarsh, seeing the various ships come and go.
And what would a standard crew size be for a sailing ship?
It would be about 10.
if we take it in the cave, we can probably take the ones on the ship afterwards, I think.
Do we see them on deck doing anything? How far from us is the ship?
It's a few hundred feet. So all you're basically seeing is the silhouette and then trying to match it up with what you've seen in port at Saltmarsh. You can't tell of any activity on the ship, but looking over that document for the signals, at the third signal, they're waiting for you to come to the ship.
Great. Did we hear them? Did we hear an anchor splash into the water or anything from
Not
this distance?
not at that distance, no.
So we don't see them, any lights up there, them lowering a boat or anything?
No, they're aside from the signal lantern, the ship looks like it's got no lights on at all as far as above deck.
So they're waiting for us to come.
That's what it looks like. Yes.
Well, I guess we can oblige them. I'm ready if you guys are.
You still have a chance of how you're going to approach the ship. Like I said, the starboard side is
Yeah.
facing the shore. The port side is facing out to sea.
And I'm not sure we want to send everybody. I think we need somebody up here at least providing some cover.
On
Well,
our
the problem,
fishing
the
boat?
problem at that distance is they're not going to provide a whole lot of cover because, like I said, it's
Yeah,
it's
because
several
can't see
hundred
'em.
several hundred feet out.
Yeah.
So it's judging from the distance and the boat. You estimate it's going to take about 30 minutes to row out to the boat or out to the ship. So it's pretty much going to be an all or nothing as far as everyone in the party.
Who can swim? Well, do you guys think? What if we go out there on the boat? We assume they're humans. We can slowly get into the water as the boat's approaching, and one of the people stays on the boat, or like let's say Gavin stays on the boat, and then we can just approach and then we can go around the other side and kind of climb up the other side, and maybe they'll be distracted by the boat.
How many does the instruction say how many people they expect to come out, or just to see a boat?
It was just how to do the signal back and forth.
What
I-
was the makeup of the people in the room or the house that we burned down? Do we have any idea? Were they elves? Were they humans? Were they dwarfs?
It was
Do we know what their race was?
it was mostly human. There were a couple of hobgoblins that were with them, but for the most part they were human. It was a combination of kind of your standard bandit and a couple of several archers.
So the guys that are on the sailing, or not the sailing boat, the fishing boat, they're just kind of there to man the boats, right?
Yeah, they're there to man the boat too, and they will protect the boat.
Okay. 'Cause I don't
Does
think we'll get
anybody
that.
have a flying familiar? We don't, do we? Because we're not high enough level. Okay.
Nope.
None. Got arrows and a and a short sword ready to go.
Let's just, like I said, I think we should try to just go out on the boat, and they're expecting a boat to come out. They probably won't think much about it.
Yeah, I think we have to start rowing. I don't think we have any
Yeah.
other option, but I agree. I think a small party needs to slip out and try and go around the other side and go up the other side.
Why don't we do that, Emeth? Why don't we just slip off the boat and kind of go try to swim around the boat while these guys are going up and sneak up the side?
The only two tall people in the group. Well, no, you're.
I'm not tall.
I'm not tall.
Yeah.
I'm an elf.
You're taller than all the gnomes.
We'll sit on boxes.
That's true.
We'll sit on some boxes and we'll go.
I agree. We got to go out. So let's get everybody in the fishing boat.
The fishing boat or the longboat?
The
We
long
didn't bring the longboat with us, did we?
No.
No.
Because they may be expecting a longboat. If we come out with a fishing boat,
Sure.
that may be a big problem.
That's true.
I
was
thought in the
thinking,
dark.
we had it here. That was my fault. I thought we had it here. And I know that we don't. I just was thinking that we did. That was dumb.
I remember
I
you
assume-
guys telling me you were taking two. It sounded like you were
No,
just taking the fishing boat over, and the fishing boat isn't much larger. Isn't much larger, like I
Okay.
said. So
Well,
it's
let's just try it.
looking in the
We
fact
have
that
no choice.
it is pitch black because it's a new moon means there's no moonlight. It's only starlight reflecting off the water. It's fairly clear sky, so
Yeah, they may have no idea what kind of boat we have anyways. So
Yeah. Let's just do it. And
All
hope
right,
for the best.
rock and roll. Mr. DM.
All right, so you're making your way out. It's going to take you about 30 minutes to row out to the ship. As you're coming up on about 100 feet out from the ship, when you wish to try and break off, or do you try and get closer?
Well, 120 feet would be drow vision and a couple of others, so I would think around 100 feet we would want to do it. So, yeah.
Slip over the
Because we want
side.
to try and, slip over the side, no splashing, very, very gently slip into the water.
All right, go ahead and give me stealth check to slip into the water.
Mine's an 18 total.
Dirty 20.
Not bad. All right, so you guys kind of slip in and start to swim. Do either one of you have a swim speed on your character sheets?
No, I can't steal that armor fast enough. But no, I'm just kidding.
Exactly.
No.
All right, so your movement's going to be roughly half. So we're about 100 feet out. Normal movement for Carolee is what, 35 feet or
Well, I was
25
thinking,
feet?
shouldn't we kind of stay in the water? And then as the boat gets closer, then go around that, because I don't think we're gonna be able to swim as fast as this boat goes. So
Yeah,
Why
I
don't we-
assume they
we'll
were
just kind of-
onto the boat.
yeah, so
We
let's
can
hold on
kind
to
of
the
hang
boat.
on to the back.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and then when we get close, then we'll go around. Is that okay?
Yep,
Okay.
I agree.
Is that good, Steve?
That sounds good.
Okay.
All right, so now we're proceeding in to be about 50 feet from the ship, 30 feet from the ship.
That's when
At
we,
30 feet, well, at 50 feet, I have dark visions. So what can I start to see at 50 feet, please?
At 50 feet, you
At
are...
60.
That's, well, as you get into that, once you cross that 60 foot, you can kind of see, it looks to be... let's see. It looks to be there are two figures on the deck, kind of just wandering around. As you get a little closer, you start to see the mast that extends up in the crow's nest. So as you get into about 40 feet, you can see that there is somebody on the crow's nest, but they're not really paying attention to your approach. The two other people that are appears to only be two people on the deck.
I want to very quietly whisper to the people that are in the boat to make sure they watch for the guy in the crow's nest.
Okay.
Because if we sneak up and we sneak on board, he may see us. So if he starts to take any kind of adverse action, they may have no choice but to fire on him.
All right, so I'll ready my longbow and get an arrow
Okay.
linked up. So in the event something happens, I'll be able to draw and take the shot.
All right.
Yeah. And I'll let you, I have no way to get anybody that high.
Quibble can do the same, right? Because you said we can kind of use him as a bow.
Yeah,
person.
he could ready a bow and go for that. Is this, you guys are in range? Is this pretty much try to take out the two guys on the deck as quietly as possible at range, or?
I think this is where we swim, and
I think this is where we swim, because if we don't kill them outright, they are going to
Yeah.
alert everybody that's on that ship.
Right.
And we have three. We have one up in the crow's nest and two on the deck. So
All right. So how are we going to do this approach? It's got the two of you in the water, and then you got the boat.
yeah,
So as the
two of
boat gets
us-
closer, we'll go around the outside of the boat, so that try to time it so that when the boat finally gets up there, we'll climb up the other side.
All right. So
And we
you're
want
gonna.
them to go-
So the boat's coming up on the starboard side. You guys are gonna swim around to the port side and try to climb
Yes.
up.
yes, behind them.
All right. So what's the instructions for the two guards that are rowing the boat?
Row slowly.
Yeah.
Drop
Pretend
an
like there's-
oar.
Yeah.
Do something to delay rowing to the boat.
Alrighty.
Yeah, we're basically in the boat trying to make a distraction.
Yeah, so Gilio kind of like reached over the boat, acting like he's trying to grab an oar, like he dropped something, and just kind of like play it off. If you want,
All right.
do
So
it.
the guards are kind of backpedal the rowing, like they're trying to keep it steady. to give you guys some time. They're about 40 feet away from the ship. You guys slip in and start your progression.
Mhm.
It's going to 25 feet, 25 and a half. So it's probably going to take you about 3 or 4 rounds to get around. So we'll say for the sake of brevity, you guys swim around to the port side of the ship. And we will start with you guys trying to climb up the side of the ship.
Oh boy.
Okay. Are we, do you want athletics or acrobatics, or what would you like?
I'm hoping it's acrobatics. Some kind of
Same here.
dexterity.
Same here. I'd like to plead for acrobatics if we could, please.
Otherwise, we'd be making big splash in water.
Most likely.
All right. So, okay.
And
Come up on the hull of the ship. You do see some handholds, but they're right there at the water line, so they're going to be slippery. There doesn't appear to be
do
any.
we see anybody on this side as well?
Give me a perception check.
15 plus 5, dirty 20.
Nope, there's no one looking over you on the port side. It seems all the attention is on the starboard side. If you're gonna see the handholds and start making your ascent, you're gonna need to give me a strength athletics check.
Dang it! I heard him say acrobatics, didn't you, Shad?
That's what I heard too. Yeah.
I swear that's what I heard him say.
Luckily, we have inspiration because this is where we may need it.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's exactly what I was thinking too. Oh,
Yes.
not bad.
I'm going to
bad.
use mine. I got a 3 minus 1 for a 2, so I'm using my inspiration.
I have 13 minus 1 is 12. So I'm hoping that was enough. So.
All right. So Shad, your new roll, or Emmett, your new roll. Is that how you're using it? To re-roll or roll
Yeah.
for the advantage? Okay. So what'd you get on the
14
advantage?
minus 1, 13.
And you got a 12, Carolee?
Yeah. 12.
All right. So as you guys attempt to start climbing up the side in the handholds, you both slip and fall back into the water. Kind of a kaplish, kaplish.
Do we hear that?
Give me a perception check with disadvantage.
I attempt to splash stealthily.
That-
I attempt to dive.
I can't imagine the splash would be that big, depending on how far we got up. If it was only
If
the
we just-
first rung.
Yeah,
No,
slippery.
it was only just starting to come out of the water, so
I
not
had a
going to be
9.
much.
I had a 9 for the perception.
All right, you can't tell from you're hearing the sounds of the water beating against the hull of the ship, the light wind as it goes. You're not able to discern anything out of the ordinary.
So,
Given the
well,
time that they're attempting to start climbing up, you guys on the ship on the boat have come in, and you're within 20 feet. So the two people on the deck look over and see you and toss out some lines for you to climb aboard.
like a cargo net, or
Just like a rope ladder.
All right.
is there a boom on this side of the boat or anything that they could lower stuff with?
Not that you're seeing has been set up just yet. It's just a rope ladder that's tossed off the side of the rope that's tossed off the side that you can use to help climb up.
I'd rather stay in the boat, so I want to tell them when we get there. I still want to give more time, so we'll have the oars kind of row a little awkwardly.
Okay.
So that we take more time. But once we get there, I want to have them lower stuff to us. Why should we be climbing up ladders on the boat when they can hand it down?
You're waiting for them to lower stuff to you.
I'm going to tell them to lower it to us.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a persuasion.
That's a 15.
They look at each other and and determine that they're like, no, just got to come up and talk to the captain. Come aboard. And
When we get a chance,
while you're having that discussion, we'll swing back. Gilly, what is it you're wanting to do?
I'm gonna go ahead and take the ladder up or start my ascent up.
Okay.
And while I'm doing that, I'll be grumbling the whole time, saying, something's happening. I don't know how to explain it. I do need to speak to the captain. I gotta speak to the captain. And just kind of grunt. I said, because you guys took forever. We've been sitting there for too long, and we've just been sitting there waiting for a signal, and you guys took forever.
All right.
Just kind of grumbling, trying to get them to focus on us, hoping that if the guys in the back are making noise, that it's not heard.
All right. With that, Emmett and Kara Lee, do you wish to make another attempt?
yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll try to help Emmett. I'll try to help up a little bit, and then once he's on there, then maybe he can help me at that point. So I'll try to
Okay.
help to give you advantage again. Hopefully, Emmett.
Well, then what I'll do is I'll take a rope and go ahead and tie it around my waist. This way, as I'm going up, you've got a rope to grab
Okay.
on to help.
All right.
Sounds good.
So, Emmett, go ahead and do your athletics check with advantage.
Okay, well, that was an 11. So,
Not able to
yes,
find.
not 20.
Nice.
You said with advantage, right?
Yeah, with
So,
advantage, you got it. You're able
Thank
to
God.
start ascending up the side of the ship, and you come up to the railing. Kind of look over, and you
Yeah.
see, as you're looking, you're seeing Gilly has come on board and is talking to the two humanoids the two humans that are standing there on the and you just hear him ranting about the captain and all and waiting too long and everything else. So you guys are able to get up onto the deck.
Okay. So,
So you see-
was he able then to come up as well behind me?
Do you want me to make a roll, or what do you want me to do?
You can roll you can take yours with advantage as well now that he's up and you're using the rope to climb up.
Okay. 18 minus 1, so 17.
Yep. You are able to get up.
Okay.
I want to draw my short sword, or my two short swords. I also want to very, very stealthily stay in the shadows and walk towards the two that are on the deck. I also want to look around and see if I see anybody else. Now that we're up here.
And I'll do the same.
So just have the map up for those who can see it now. Imith and Carolee, as you climb up, you happen to see a longboat is kind of lashed to the deck there. It looks like it's still in the process of being taken unlashed. So that's providing you some cover. Gilly, as you're coming over the railing, you see the two bandits right in front of you. Ifonda is still in the fishing boat with the rest of the party. What is it? This is pretty much a surprise round. So what is it you guys wish to do?
So
Do
I
we
kind of
see anybody else besides the two?
That's all you're seeing on the deck right now. It's just the two of them.
I'd like to
Very,
whisper to
Sorry.
Quivel and Garen, if you hear anything happening up there, take out the guy in the crow's nest, because they should both have enough range to do that.
Yes, between Gavin and Quivel, with their ranged abilities, they should be able to take out the guy in the crow's nest, so he'll be out of the equation.
And if those guys are busy talking with Gilly, I'd like to sneak up the rope and
All
try
right.
to find a place to hide.
I found it. Go ahead and give me a stealth check as you climb up. Emeth and Carolee, go ahead and give me stealth checks that you're on the ship before you
Yeah,
do
I kind of
anything
point.
else.
I kind of point to Emeth like to go that way, and I'll go. We'll split around the boat.
15 plus 7, 22.
I'm gonna take my inspiration here because I did not roll well, and that's much better. Okay, so that's going to be an 18 total.
All righty, that's good. That's good.
And
Gilly?
I have a 22 for my stealth.
All right, so we'll let you. You'll be able to climb up there pretty quietly. Gilly, you had their attention on you. What is it you used to do?
So right now I've got them, and I've been complaining. So I'm like, all right, so why don't you mugs take me over there to the captain? I need to speak to him. I need to find out what's going on because I can't figure it out. You guys show up late. Things are going on in the cavern. I need to find out who he really is. What's really going on?
And Steve, while he's doing that, I want to sneak up behind the one on the left side, which is the way I went, and stabby in the back.
I'm staffy in the back, so instead of stabby.
All right, guys, and do this. All right, roll for your attacks.
And these are at advantage, right? Because we're behind them.
Yes, they are distracted. I will give it to you.
21.
That'll hurt. Roll for
And I'm
roll
at
damage.
18. I'll wait for him to go, and then I'll do it.
Okay. And I have sneak attack on this, so 6 plus 3, 9. So I had a 4 and a 2 and the plus 3.
9 points of damage to the first one. All right, Carolee, what's yours?
So I got an 18 with my staff, and then I got a 20, and in fact I got a 22 with my punch. If those are
Both will hit. Roll damage.
okay, I'll just give it to you total. Is that okay?
Yep, total's fine.
Okay. All right.
And then do we get the second strike, right? Because I've got dual fighting with my other sword, right?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Okay, that's going to be 8 with my staff and 6 with my punch. So 14 total.
14 total. All right.
And then on my second, I got a nat 20.
All righty. So, for the sake of brevity, Gilly, as you're standing there and you're ranting and raving, you see Carolee come up behind one, you see Emmett come up behind the other, and then in a flurry of 60s Batman, kapow, kapow, the two pirates kind of just crumple to the ground, dead. And with that, we'll roll initiative as we move into the rest of this.
And immediately I want to turn around and look at the crow's nest and make sure
And you
he hasn't seen anything.
No, you give me a perception check, Emmett. Oh, hold off on those initiatives, guys. Hold off on the initiatives. You killed these two, so what am I thinking? Emmett, give me a perception check.
9 plus 5, 14.
All right, you kind of look up to the crow's nest and you see you see a figure kind of walk to the side and then just kind of slump down into the crow's nest. So he's been removed.
Okay. Quick pat down. I want to make sure that if these guys have any keys or for opening locks on the ship that we've got them. I don't care about weapons, gold, or anything else. I'm looking for keys or anything that we may need to continue our quest on the ship.
Look. It. Nope, they don't appear to have anything of value. From the way they look to be your average deckhand.
Okay.
All right. So the four of you are on the main on the deck here. You see the stairwell leading up to the quarter deck, and then the stairwell leading up to the poop deck, or the poop deck in the forecastle, and you see a set of doors around you, leading into various cabins.
So should we check the upper decks first
Yeah.
just to make sure?
All right.
Is there anything on the deck that we could use to block the doors?
You have
The
the
longboat.
You have the longboat. You have the longboat there. You have some basic kind of ropes and whatnot along there for what's on the deck. It's not a whole lot of big stuff.
And they don't
Did
have
we-
whatever loot that we were supposed to load into the boat up on top of the deck?
No, you do see the main hatch that leads into the cargo hold is still shut. Emmett,
think-
based on your perception, you do kind of hear there's a light bit of rumbling from below deck. So you
We
guys
need
may
to
also
take and
still
move
want to
these-
keep your stealth going. So
Yeah, we need to move these bodies, whether we shove them under the boat that's on the deck, whether we tie a rope to them and lower them in the water quietly, we need to get rid of these bodies.
Or we could use them to block the doors.
2 bodies?
Yeah, and stick
That's
them in
going to
the door.
alert them we're here.
No, I'm
That's
just
going to
saying,
alert
that way
them
they
we're
can't-
here.
I'm saying that way they can't open it if they come up.
I think 2 bodies
you
are
doing
going to block a
so what are we
door,
doing with the bodies?
We could lower them down to Quibble and the guys in the boat.
Actually, we have the boat that's right in front of us. We can just throw their bodies underneath.
That's what I was saying. If we either put them under there or lower them down, I don't care what. We just got to hide them.
Yeah.
So we drag them under the boat that's there.
Alrighty. Go ahead and give me who's so is it 2 on each body?
Sure.
Pretty
Yeah.
safe to say. All right, 1 person from each pair. Roll sleight of hand with advantage. So tell me how you want to split that up.
I'll just help Gilly. You want to do it, Gilly?
Yeah, I rolled a nat 20 on my first roll, so
Yeah.
I don't think I'm
Well, I'm glad
gonna.
I chose to help you then.
I found it. Do you want it or do you want me to do it?
I'll do it. I have a +5 on it, so.
Okay. That's better than mine.
So I rolled a 16.
Alrighty, so you're able to quietly kind of lift the boat up, push the bodies underneath, lower the boat down. The deck is clear. There's just the doors around. And it's been about an hour, so we're going to take a quick break. Bio break, grab drinks and stuff, whatnot, and then we will come back about 5 in a row on Tuesday nights. Yep. Got a lot of stuff to talk about this week. I'll be up front. There's a lot of things are going to be covering and a lot of cool stuff going to happen.
Yes, there is. And by the way, Steve, you need to move your camera back over. All we see is your shoulder.
That better?
Yes. You should definitely tune in Tuesday if you're available.
Oh
It's
yeah.
going to be interesting.
Well, you know what? I'll tease since we're doing the break. I'll tease.
You're going to tease?
I'm going to tease.
I love teasers.
teasers.
You
are
should
great.
tease. Isn't it?
Yeah, what's
Especially
that
when you know
teaser?
something
Oh.
everybody else wants to know.
Yeah, episode 57. We've got a guest. Check it out. Who's going to be hanging out with Scuba and the Rye this week? None other than Balfour. Mr. Joel is going to be a guest with us. So,
And your camera went wonky again.
yeah, it's because I bumped the table. So yeah, if you guys aren't there, check us out. We'll be on after Behind the Screen. So once you're done listening to Rome Smith's Behind the Screen, jump on over here to hang out with us. We'll talk about reviews and geek stuff. And since we got Joel here, we're going to talk to Joel and get some info. So get your questions ready so we can bombard Joel with questions and get the need-to-know answers for all of his fans.
He'll be your second best guest you've ever had, Scuba.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, wow. Wow.
That's okay though. I could tease on something else. I got that 24-hour stream coming up. and
Yes, you
that's going.
should tease.
That's awesome.
That is going to be on August. I believe it's 7th to the 8th. We're going to
7th.
start Friday the 7th and go all the way till the 8th. Working on the some of the stuff going on, but I will say I'm going to have something really special in the evening time. And I will talk more about that on Tuesday for Scuba and the Rye. So, want to find out what cool, fun thing I've got cooking? Come check us out then. All right. No apparent reason I'm hearing the phrase D&D as sung by AC/DC TNT. I could dig that. I could totally dig that, especially because my character Tamazar, his favorite spell is Toll the Dead. And it's AC/DC every time I say it. Alrighty, now that the cast is back, go ahead and get back into it. You guys are on the deck of the ship. I think, probably for brevity, depending on, or how do you guys wish to, let's go ahead and get an initiative order, and I will keep that for the rest of the time on this deck. Then depending on how you guys want to go through the rooms. So everybody give me a quick initiative order, and I will make a note of it.
16 plus 3, 19.
And I'm 17, 14 plus 3.
All right, Emmett, you said 19?
19.
Carol Lee, you said 17?
Yeah.
I found it.
I had a 4.
Ooh.
All right, and Gilly, what'd you get? I believe you're still on mute, my friend.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
You're good.
I think me and Ifonda are gonna have to fight for the same 4.
All right, real quick though, who's got the better dex modifier? What is your dex modifier, Gilly?
1.
I found it. What's your dex modifier?
Mine's a 3.
All right, so it'll be I found it, then Gilly. Alrighty, so you're on the deck. Stealth checks are good. Gilly, give me a stealth check real quick before you move into any other positions.
$14. Yep.
Alrighty. What is it you guys wish to do?
Let's go check that upper deck first, and then, I mean, I'm assuming they would have probably come over if they had heard anything, but
Right.
Maybe
Let's
the rear
just
deck.
double check.
Maybe the rear deck first, because there might be somebody at the helm, or if there's
Yeah,
a steering
right.
deck there.
All right.
that's what I meant.
Agreed.
We'll just go through that order. Emeth, you're up. You're first. Where do you wish to go?
Back towards the rear deck and very, very quietly make my way up the stairs. I don't want to walk all the way up. I want to get to the point where I can kind of see feet standing on the deck and look around.
Ready.
See if I see anybody.
You can. Not appear to be anybody up on the deck, on the quarter deck there by
Okay.
the rudder.
So with hand motions, I basically wave everybody off.
Okay. Kara Lee, which way are you going?
I'm going to go to the other deck then. I'll go up and look up. Same idea. Just stick my head up over there.
All right. As you look up, you do not see anybody up there either.
Okay. Same thing. I'll motion people off just like he did and kind of come back down.
Next up is I found it.
So you said there's doors. How many doors
Yes.
are there?
There's a door here, 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 and here, and one more here. So there are 7 doors in total.
Jesus.
3 at the rear of the ship, 2 in the front.
That's
4 and 3, right?
three in
Or is
the.
it-
4
Yeah,
and 3.
Oh, 4 and 3. Okay.
Well, I'll just go to the first door closest to me, the one in the rear on the, what is that, the port side? Just listen to it.
Kind of you need to give me an identifier where that door is. Are you able to? Okay, so you want to go to that door. Gotcha. All right. All right. Go ahead and give me your perception check on the door.
That was all of a 5.
Oh boy.
You hear some light movement, but you can't tell if that's a difference between the sound of the water up against the ship or somebody's in the cabin.
See if the door opens in or out.
The door opens in.
Okay, well, I guess I want to kind of whisper. Who's next to me? Gilly's next to me.
That would, yeah. No, actually, that would, Imith would be over on this side. So we're gonna move over to Gilly. Which what do you wish to do?
All right. So what's on that far left-hand side? Over here, where that little squiggly line is.
Oh, right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is a door to another someplace, and the squiggly is just a coil of rope and a hook.
All right.
Oh. Ooh. Mm.
I guess. Yeah, I'll listen in at that far left door and try to hear for anything.
So you're gonna move over here to this door. All right, go and give me your perception check with your ear against the door.
All right. That's 15.
15. All right, you're not hearing any activity on the other side of the door. All right, bringing it back up to the top with Imith. What are you going to do? You see Ifondit's listening to one door, and you see Gilly listening to another door. Gilly, how do you react to not hearing anything in that room?
Kind of look over to everybody and shrug my shoulders like nothing.
All right. Ifondit, what's your motion as you're trying to discern what's going on the other side of your door?
Kind of a similar motion. Maybe wave a hand a little bit, something.
Okay. Imith, how do you want to proceed?
So the doors, what do the doorknobs or handles look like?
Just metal rings. It's kind of very basic on a ship.
Would it work for us to take rope and basically tie a whole line of doors together so that they can't be opened?
It's doable. Most of them all open in. So
They open in?
yes. So
That's
they
perfect because we can tie them across the deck, door to door through the rings.
Because this way, if we can block off one whole side, then we don't have to worry about someone coming up from behind us.
That's plausible. Uh-oh.
Well, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think that's a very good
And
idea.
obviously, we're being very quiet.
Hmm?
But I don't want to whisper on here.
We'll take it as implied, right? Right, chat? They're whispering. They're not making noise. All right.
Yes.
So you want to tie all of the doors shut on one side.
Quietly.
Okay. Which side do you wish to tie shut?
Would we know what the standard configuration is? Like, would we know where the captain's quarters typically are on a boat like this?
Give me a history check.
Is that all of us or just him?
If you're proficient in it as well, go ahead.
16. 13 plus 3.
16. Okay. Does anybody else wish to try a history check real quick before I give the answers?
Mine was only a 7, so
Okay.
You said we had to be proficient in it, right? I'm
I
not
would
proficient,
prefer that,
so-
but
yeah. So I'm not.
Gilly, how about yourself?
I'm not very proficient.
Alrighty, Imith, as you look at the layout, you realize
Mhm.
that Ifondit is standing next to the door that is most likely the captain's quarters, or it's the door, and the door next to you is another set of quarters. The two
Okay.
in the middle lead below deck. On the opposite side is the doors on the far sides are doors into quarters, and the single door in the middle, it leads to yet another ladder that leads below deck.
So I relay this information to them, to the party, and say, I think we should take the side with 4 doors and get rid of them.
I think we should tie all the doors other than the captain's up.
Oh, another tidbit of knowledge is in this era, most ships have a wizard or some type of spellcaster who is who's treated in it with as much regard as a captain. So there's a good chance his quarters are also up here behind one of these doors.
So I'll draw this real fast and erase it if I can. I don't know how to do that, but are you thinking about like taking a line and going like across like that? Like across?
Hang on. I lost the map. So yeah, basically taking a rope and going, tying it around each handle and just tying them all together right down the line.
Okay, because he was saying
port
he was
to
saying they open
starboard,
inward.
not bow to stern.
Well, he was saying they open inward,
Yes.
so if we tied them across, they would not be able to open them. That's what I was thinking.
How wide is the deck?
This is 26 feet port to starboard.
Is there a mast on here?
What?
Is there a mast?
Yes, the mast.
We could tie it to the
is
mast.
About right
we
here in
tie-
the center. It's a single-masted ship.
That's actually not a bad idea. Take all of them to the mast, except for one. We deal with what's behind one, and then we move to the next one.
That's exactly how I think we should do it.
Alrighty. Which door do you wish to go in first? Or actually, no. Everybody give me a sleight of hand check to tie off the door without making noise.
Ooh, that's a dirty 20.
Not bad.
I had a 25.
16 plus 3, 19.
1925. Gilly?
15.
15. Okay. Since you're all next to 4 doors, you're all able to go and tie off your door to the mast. So now it's pick one of those 4, or do you wish to just try and go below deck?
Well, so there were 7 doors total. We've tied 4. There's
You've tied
at least
4.
one rope on the. There's one rope on the deck, so we can tie a 5th.
All right. Who wants to tie a 5th? Who wants to tie the 5th?
I found it. You had a pretty good sleight of hand, right?
Yeah, I can do it.
All right. Go ahead and give me another sleight of hand check to do your next door.
I might use my inspiration there.
All righty. Quick show of hands. Who still has inspiration they haven't used yet?
Not this guy.
Not
All
me.
right.
Yeah.
Chat, they need you. They need you, chat. Get that HP bar down so they can get another set of inspirations in case they need it.
Second roll was a 13, so that was much better.
Alrighty. Takes you a little longer, but you are able to go ahead and secure a 5th door.
Look around the deck real quick. Can we find one more coil of rope anywhere?
You also,
For
do you
to tie the
guys
6th
have
door.
your adventuring packs with you? You could have rope on you there.
Yeah.
I already used mine out of it.
All right. So
Which doors left?
Well, we can cut the if like that rope on the deck was long enough, we can just cut it.
Oh, I have mine.
it most likely is. I'll give it to you as far as the length. You have 2 doors left. I'm going to take it as the 2 doors leading below deck on the side with the 4 doors are the ones that haven't been tied off yet. So we got the
Okay.
3 on
Do they?
3 on the bow, 4 on the stern. The 3 on the bow are all tied off. The 2 doors that lead to the cabins have been tied off. Now there are 2 doors that lead below deck that are still open.
No, I
Do
think
they-
we wanted to
your-
go into the.
Your camera good.
Huh?
Sorry, I found it. Go ahead.
I think we wanted to go into the captain's cabin first. If we can take him, we might and get him to surrender. We might be able to take the whole ship without a fight. I think we should. I definitely want to lock the ones that go to below deck first.
Yeah. And one more thing. Did they want the captain or anybody alive, or did they give us any kind of the council? Did they give us any kind of instructions on what? Okay.
No, it is entirely your prerogative how you wish to deal with this. And thank you for those cheers. We knocked down the HP bar again, so the party has inspiration again.
Thank you, Naomi.
Thank you. Again.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Alrighty. So what do we want to do, guys?
All right. Which the captain's one is. You're thinking let's do that one first. I say we do it.
Yeah, I say
agree.
absolutely lock everything else up, and let's take care of the captain before we deal with anybody else.
So what are we tying off the last 2 doors and then opening up one?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, who's tying off the doors?
I'll go ahead and do that.
All right. I found it. I'll give you 1 door. Who wants to take the 2nd door?
I'll do it.
Take it.
All right, go ahead, Chad.
All right, Carolee, and I found it. Give me your sleight of hands.
Let's see. 13 plus 16.
All right, I found it.
You did better than I would have done.
So I rolled a nat 1, so I wanted to use my inspiration, so I did, and rolled another nat 1. So it's
Oh,
Oh man.
it was meant to be, apparently.
Yeah.
I have a +5 to my sleight of hand, but it's not going well.
All right. So as you kind of, you're not sure if that knot is strong enough.
Okay.
Would he know that?
I don't
So
think
that
I'd
one
do
of
it.
us could come check it?
He tied the knot, but
Or
he's
not?
not. But he kind of has a feeling it may not be it. So if somebody wants to come in and take a look and retie it, I'll let you come and do that.
I'll try.
I'll do it. Oh, okay, Gilly, go ahead.
Sleight of hand.
Yep.
12.
Alrighty. I will give it to you that knot is secured. So now you need to pick which one of the two doors, one on the left, or the one on the right.
Which one is normally associated with the captain's quarters?
They're both, given the layout of the ships, they're both roughly the same size, so it's kind of a 50-50. One's going to be the spellcaster, one's going to be the captain.
I'm gonna go with the one on the. I'll go with the one on the left.
One on the left?
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
Good enough for me.
all right.
Let's get around there.
So just to
Yeah,
confirm,
so
we're
we go to
talking
the one on the left.
the one on the, well, let's see.
Oops.
This is the one on, this would be the one on the left. Is this the one you
Oh,
guys
that's
want to
good.
go in?
Yeah, that's the one on the left, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Scoob, check your camera.
Oh, the little one. Sorry.
Seasick.
Alrighty. So we got the one on the
Does
left.
somebody have a bow or a spell they can ready? So if we open this door, we get an arrow or something off, kind of as a sneak.
I have my longbow.
Have your
But-
longbow?
I have a longbow, and I also have a cantrip. But I'm just trying to see because I've never used it before. Yeah, I
think I
wouldn't
have
use it
one.
yet.
I have chill touch too, so I'm gonna ready chill touch.
And I have
Nice.
my longbow ready, so
All right. So Gilly, you're going to be roughly here and have the ready so you could shoot through the doorway. Am I
Yeah.
understanding that?
yes.
All right. Imith, where do you want to position yourself?
I want to be right by the door. I'm gonna ask someone to open the door, whoever's not readying an action. And I literally, as the door is opening, I want to basically be appearing in the doorway.
All righty.
I could do that. I'll just kind of open it for these guys.
Slowly, because I'd like to try and kind of peek around the
Okay.
corner if we can.
Sure.
Okay. So who was it who was opening the door?
I'll do it. Carolee's going to do it. I'll
Carolyn's
try to
gonna
go
open the door.
slowly and as quietly as I can.
Really? Give me a hard time now. All right, so Carolee opens the door. Real quick, Carolee, give me another sleight of hand so that you could try to open that door nice and quiet like.
Okay. Oh, I rolled an 18. So 21.
All right, you push it in. It kind of pushes opening to the right, and it goes against the wall. Imith, you can kind of sneak in around, and as you guys look in and see there is a figure standing over by, sitting at a desk.
Facing us or away?
He's got his back to you.
Okay. I'm going to then take the sword that's in my other hand and walk up behind him and stab him.
Alrighty.
And ask him a question pointedly.
Basically.
Drop that.
Yep. Scoob, I just bought one. I'll send you the link.
All right, Imith. Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and give me a. Go ahead and give me a stealth to let you sneak up on him.
Let's go. 7. 15 plus 7, 22.
Alrighty. Yeah, you sneak up on him. Go and roll your attack.
With advantage?
You're sneaking up on him. I mean, you get that. If you have that feature as a rogue, do it.
Yep. So 18 plus short sword 5, 23.
That will hit. Roll damage.
3 and then 2 sneak attack plus 3, so 8.
Points of damage. Alrighty. So as you sneak up on, you come up behind him and you stab him. He reacts, turns around to you, and Carolee, your turn. What are you gonna do?
I will head in and try to do the same. Oops, I keep doing it. Sorry, Scoop. I don't know what's happening here. It keeps making me draw.
You have to probably change one of your settings.
Yeah, I did. Like I'm trying to erase them for you, and I can't. I don't know what's going on. I think only maybe you can. Sorry about that. I don't mean to mess up your map. I apologize.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay, I'm going to go up and I'm going to. Can I get? That's probably as far as I can get, right? I can't get one more square. I was just.
I mean, you can get one more square and you'd be next to him. Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to like leave some room for everybody else. So.
Yep.
5,
Go
10,
for it.
15, 20, 25. Yep, that's perfect. Okay, I'm going to with my staff. That's going to be a 14 plus 5, so 19.
Okay.
With the staff, and then with my then bonus action, I'll do the offhand, the unarmed strike. Also 14
Okay.
plus 5, so 19.
So that will hit. Roll damage.
Okay, that's both together. Plus 12 plus 4. So 16 damage total.
It's definitely wearing him down. Alrighty, next up is the captain, who is going to come around, and since you had just stabbed him, he's going to take a couple of attacks at you. Be a 24. Which I imagine that hits.
Is it on
One
me?
of us are you talking to?
Yes, it's Carolee. The attack is on you. 24 to hit.
Either way, I'm sure we both got hit. But yes,
Yes.
for sure.
All right, that will be 9 points of slashing damage. And then he's
Okay.
going to come around and stab at Imith with his second attack. Or yeah, second attack with his at Imith. That will be a 9 to hit.
Does not hit. I have a 14 armor class.
Alrighty. Brings us to I Found It. As you come into the room, you see this burly captain figure engaged with Imith and Carolee. What do you wish to do?
Do you have the picture on Roll20? I don't see anybody.
You might have to scroll I found it or like zoom out.
I moved him in. I should be able to see.
Oh.
See now? I found it.
Yes, that's much better. What I'd like to do is just walk in and try to shoot him with my hand crossbow.
All right. Shoot him with your hand crossbow. Go ahead and roll for attack.
Does a 13 hit?
A 13 will not hit.
Okay, and I'll
We'll
just stay
bring
where I'm
him-
at.
Is there anything else you wish to do?
Oh, I'll just stay where I'm at.
Alrighty. Next up is Gilly. What is it you wish to? I went ahead and moved you into the room, so
Yeah.
you could move it. You could be there and have line of sight if you wish to try and shoot.
Okay. So I'll just Gilly will just yell out and just be like, "Hit the deck, boys!" and go ahead and fire with a longbow.
Alrighty, go and roll for attack.
30-20.
Alrighty, that will hit. Roll damage.
All right. 4 points of damage.
How many?
4.
4 points of damage. Alrighty. Alright, top of the next round, Imith. Okay.
Sorry, I was on a different screen doing something.
Oh.
I didn't expect my turn so quick.
There's only 4 of us.
I know.
Not to be rude, Arcane Musings, but I do have I've got enough stuff trying to go in. I'm sorry I'm not able to incorporate what you're saying in chat. I do apologize. But back to that. Imith, what's up with you?
So I have now I pulled my other sword, so I've got both in my hand.
Alrighty.
Or both in my hands, I guess I should say.
Yes.
So first one is 13 plus 5, 18.
18 will hit. Roll damage.
All right, and I have a friend next to me, so I get my sneak attack.
2.
So that's 7 plus 3 is 10.
Right.
And then my second short sword.
That's 10 points of damage on the first hit.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
8 plus 5, 13. You said earlier that was a miss.
No, 13 is a miss.
Oh, yep.
Alrighty. Next up is Carolee. What are you doing?
All right, I'm gonna swing out with my staff again.
Okay.
I'm sure that's a 12. That's a miss.
That's not going to hit.
I'll use my bonus action to. Can I use my inspiration dice now and give myself advantage on that swing? Or do
Yeah,
I
I'll let
throw
you
that
use
back?
your inspiration on an attack roll.
Okay, I'm gonna roll that again then.
Alrighty.
Much better. 19 plus 5, so 24.
Alright, roll
Yeah.
damage.
Okay. That's going to be 8 damage with the staff. And I will go ahead and do my unarmed strike, and that's a miss.
Hold on.
Oh,
You did the 8 you did the damage. You did the 8 damage with the staff,
Staff.
right?
yeah.
So as you come around with that staff and you crack him upside the head with the staff, he he reacts back to the table and then starts to slump down.
That's why I missed with the punch, because I thought he was still going to be up there.
So that will end that.
Okay.
Alrighty, and basically did that very quickly in less than two rounds. So you have not alerted anybody to your presence.
Okay. That was I want to listen and see if if we hear anybody or rumblings.
No. I'm gonna
No.
give it to you. You're not hearing any activity. You handled it pretty quick, fast, and in a hurry. All right, so now the captain's quarters are clear. What do you wish to do next?
Investigate.
Definitely investigate the room.
Oh,
Is,
captain's
is,
quarters.
is there a manifest somewhere in there?
Flip his room. All right. The cabin is clean and its furniture is in good repair. A single bunk made up with bed linen has its head against the bulkhead running along the center line of the ship, next to the wooden partition squaring off the corner near the main deck. A writing desk is set against the hull toward the stern. It has a drawer on each side and 3 trays on the top. Also on the desktop, just in front of the trays, is an ink pot with 2 quill pens, a small knife, a pewter container that resembles a pepper pot. Against the desk is set an upright wooden chair, and beside it a wooden brass-bound chest. Against the hull on the starboard side of the pad is a padded leather couch. In front of it, a bearskin rug lies on the deck, while beneath the couch can be seen a large metal box. An unlit hooded lantern hangs from, or in this case, a lit hooded lantern hangs from the ceiling.
While you guys investigate, I'll just guard the door. I'll kind of keep it open and look out the door while you guys are searching.
Well, and I'm going to say, I don't think we want to open that chest. If it is booby trapped, we do not want to alert anybody that we are here yet. Let's kill everybody and then come back for this
What's
chest.
in the box?
Patience, dear Gilly. Patience.
If we kill everybody, would we be able to sail this boat? Or what's going to happen with this boat if we kill everybody on it?
If you,
Right,
between the size of the party and the 2 fishermen, you could, it'd be a little difficult, but you could take the ship back to Salt Marsh if you.
It's either that or burn it. I mean,
I vote burn. I clearly.
I
not
vote
kidding.
sell it. I
Yeah,
vote
I'm
sell
teasing.
it.
Should we, if there's a manifest or something, maybe we should grab that quickly and give it down to like equivalent of those guys in case something happens, just so we can get out of here quickly if we have to. But then
Good
do the
idea.
major searching later. It's up to you guys, but just a suggestion.
I'm okay with that. And then the equivalent then can start looking through the manifest and getting some intelligence while we're up here.
So we're going to look through the desk?
Yes.
All right.
Carefully, because we don't want to trip any booby traps.
Okay. Go ahead. Who's going to investigate the desk and give me an investigation check?
I guess I'll do it since I was so eager to look into it. So
All righty. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
God, this is not going to be good.
23.
All
Nat
righty.
20 plus 3.
Of the trays on the desktop next to the pewter container, which is nearly full of a fine sand, there's one of the trays contains bills and receipts of various items of marine supply. One contains several letters of a personal and intimate nature from 3 different women in 3 different ports, each of whom has a misapprehension that she is the spouse of this person who presumably you killed, named Snake Eyes. A curious, semi-literate document requesting more supply of ironware as per previous consignments at the agreed terms. There's a signature here in the form of a pictograph that shows a lizard with a forked tongue extended.
A regular lizard, or like a
A pictograph of a lizard with its tongue sticking out, and the tongue is forked. You notice
I say we get that.
the 2 desk drawers are also locked, so you'd have to try to pick the lock before you got into those. But this is so far what's on the top of the desk.
I'd
Yeah.
like to check
Let's-
the body for any keys or anything like that.
And let's leave the door. Let's leave the desk drawers until we're done.
All right. I find it. You wanted to check the body. Go and give me an investigation check, sir. Shout out Arcane Musings. Yes, I did see. I hope you're feeling better, my man.
25.
25. Yes, you do find a set of keys on him that will unlock the desk drawers.
Ah. Well, here's the keys for the drawers, guys. You want to open it?
I vote no. But
All right.
it is a democracy.
1 vote no. What about you guys? Gilly and Carolee.
I'll go with Imith, and let's take out the rest of the crew before we
Before too
We
much
go-
time passes.
yeah.
And I honestly
I
think
agree.
we should keep the spellcaster because if he starts casting spells, that is going to attract attention.
All righty.
I
Oh.
say
You mean
we go
don't
below
attack him,
deck,
or-
but yeah, I say we go
Oh.
below deck and save him for last. But that's my thought. I don't
I'm
know.
just
Does
worried about him
anybody have
coming
any?
But he's probably one that can get through that door.
Yeah, I'm thinking he might be able to come up behind us too, and like
Okay.
maybe we don't know, maybe go invisible. We don't know. He could probably cause some real damage. I'd rather
I think
face him straight up.
All right. So do you want to take the same approach with him that we did with the captain?
Absolutely, exact same.
I like it.
For the
Okay.
So we're going for the spellcaster, or
I think we should.
That's-
I really do.
That's the vote, Gilly. Let's go to the spellcaster.
Well, it's just 2 votes. You can.
You could stalemate it.
And then Quibble will side with us. So let's go. I'm kidding.
He'll set the boat on fire.
He was not yet. We left Findle. He's like not even here. I'm kidding.
All right, so Steve, we head over to the spellcasters. What we believe is the spellcasters' quarters.
All righty.
It's the one right down below it, right in the south.
Yep. All right, so if Carolee moving over, I found it, or Imith moving over as well. Him kind of come up there. I found it in Gilly. Go ahead and position yourselves where you wish to be strategically before opening the door.
Shad, did you want to be in front of the door? Because I'm opening it up, and then you're going to be right there. Is
Yeah.
that right?
Yeah, I
probably
want
need
to basically the exact same process
Okay.
that we did.
So I probably need to switch with you. I'll go down to. Right. I mean,
I'm assuming the door opens towards the wall of the ship.
Yes.
yeah, I'm
It'll-
guessing.
Hey, you're based on what you saw from the other quarters. This is probably going to be the mirror layout, so the door is going to open
Mhm.
in a similar fashion.
Okay.
So if you want to go up 1 square, and then I will, that because you're going to be right in the doorway, right? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so say real quick, I had to add a command. If you now do bang extra, you should see the link for the Extra Life campaign, where you can donate to my thing for Extra Life, as well as there's a panel here on Twitch. Alrighty, give it to. So same as thing before. Carolee, you're opening the door. If you are, go ahead.
Yep.
Go ahead and roll your sleight of hand to open the door quietly.
Ooh, not good. That's going to be a 9 total.
Ouch.
Hey, Scoob, I can't move my guy, so I don't even know where we're at.
I can move you. That's kind of funny. That's weird.
Huh.
So I don't even see where we're going.
I moved you.
Take a look at that. Put in. I have these new tokens that you guys were nice enough to help me make, and thought I had all the permissions right.
Apparently, I can move his and mine. I can't move the other two, but for some reason, I can move both his and mine.
See the ghillie? I have ghillie there as able to move it. Huh. Put that on my bug list for later. Alrighty. So it was a 9 to open the door.
Sorry.
You push the door open and you just a little too eager. There's a slight kind of against the wall. And as you look in, you see a figure standing there.
As soon as I hear the thing, I cast Chill Touch, knowing we are not being stealthy anymore.
Alrighty, go ahead and roll. That's a
It's a cantrip.
cantrip. It's a
Yep.
dex. It's a save on my part, correct? Or
You
is it
create
a-
a ghost of skeletal hand in the space of a creature within range. Make a ranged spell attack against the creature to assail it with the Chill of the Grave.
All
On
right.
a hit, the target takes 1d8 necrotic damage, and it can't regain hit points until the start of your next turn.
All right, go ahead and roll your ranged spell attack.
Nat 20 plus 3.
Alrighty. So what is the damage on? So it's roll the dice for the damage.
Okay. Which is a 3.
So and it's a D8. So 3 plus 8.
It's a d8.
So
11.
Yep. 11 points of necrotic damage. A good way to start this off.
Yes, it is.
And if I don't think he's undead, but if you hit an undead target, it has disadvantage on attack rolls until the end of my next turn. Just throwing that out there. I don't think he is, but I don't see him either.
What? He's not dead yet? I think he's clearly undead.
Nope.
And I will take my movement now to walk in as well and kind of move up towards him.
Alrighty. Gonna walk up to get with a melee range?
Yeah.
Alright.
And as I'm walking, I'm going to draw. I had one sword in my hand. I'm going to draw the other one as I'm walking up to him, and that ends.
Okay. As you get up there, that chill touch hits the spellcaster, and they're going to sit there and kind of hold out her hands at you, and you start to feel cold air come at you as they cast Ray of Frost.
Okay.
Back again. There. That will be 17 on the die plus 5.
That hits.
Yeah. And it's going to be 4 points of cold damage.
Okay.
And your speed is reduced to 10 feet until the start of your next turn. But since you're in melee, that doesn't really work out that bad.
And I'm close, right? I'm close enough to hit them. Okay.
Yeah, you'll be able to get them on the next one. So, which
right.
bring it back into your turn because I let you guys have right there at the doors opening in. So, Emmett, take another crack at her.
Okay. Oh man, first sword is 12. I'm assuming that's a miss.
No, that is a hit.
That's right, spellcaster.
Yep, spellcaster who reacted with Ray of Frost instead of Mage Armor.
Ooh. So on damage, I use sneak attack as well. So I had 6 and 4 on the dice plus 3, so 13.
Solid hit.
And for the second sword is an 11 plus 5, 16.
That will hit.
For 5 more.
5 more.
And that's 5 on the dice. That doesn't include a modifier.
All right. That definitely is hurting. Carolee, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to move in. 5, 10. For some reason,
You know
I can't.
what?
Yeah.
Hey, Steve,
Yes.
we retcon something. I don't get sneak attack on her because there's nobody next to me.
Oh, that's right. So what's that reduce the damage?
4.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay, I'll move there. Because I can move through friendly, right? And as long as I don't leave their thing. And I will, I guess as long as Emmett lets me go through.
Yeah, you
And
Come on in. Enjoy the party.
yeah. Okay, and I will go with staff first. Natural 20.
Yep. I'm not even gonna make you roll the dice because you come in and you just.
And I rolled max anyway. so
What's your damage dice on that?
It's a D8 with it because it's two-handed.
So that's 16 points of damage plus the any hit bonus.
Plus 3, yeah. So I got 19 damage.
19. You come around so hard that when as you come around with that staff, it hits the arm into the ribs. You hear the bone crack, and possibly even a rib crack, and the spellcaster goes down. That's another one you're able to. Not even through one round of combat, you got that one knocked out.
Okay.
Wow. The two room. That's these 2 rooms are done. So what do we want to do? What do we want to do? We were gonna
Illy and I
investigate.
Same thing. If you guys want to investigate, I'll just kind of like watch out the door, and then while you guys investigate the room, if you want.
I'd like to investigate the room, I guess.
Yeah.
Alrighty, this seems to be one of the master cabins. The furnishings and fittings are of good quality, and the place is tidy. A single bunk with made-up bed linen has its head against the bulkhead running along the center line of the ship. A polished wood table stands in the center of the room, bolted to the deck. On the table is a silver bowl containing an assortment of fruit, a silver carafe, half full with a light red liquid, and a silver goblet. Set at the table are 2 upright wooden chairs and a padded leather chair. On the deck toward the stern is a wooden brass-bound chest. Beside it is a pair of highly polished black leather boots. From the center of the ceiling over the table hangs a hooded lantern. There seems to be a peg behind the door that has a robe of some type on it. What do you wish to investigate?
I'll search the body again.
Alrighty.
You want to roll for that?
Just give me an investigation check.
14.
Seems to be, you seem to caught her off guard, or caught them off guard, so they're not, the robe hanging on the wall, their keys and stuff for trying to get in, keys to any locked drawers and whatnot.
There are keys there. I'll take the keys.
All right. Pretty much it for that. You got the locked chest and whatnot. So how do you wish to proceed next?
Guys, do we want to keep on this deck, or do we want to go below decks now?
Well, we have 2 more doors on that open into rooms on this deck, don't we?
Yes, there are 2 more rooms. One of them, Gilly has is telling you that the room appears to be empty, and then there's one other room you guys haven't checked.
I think we should take care of those 2 while we're up here. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
So let's go to the one that we think is empty, and let's take the exact same plan. If someone else wants to go in first, I have no problem with it.
All right, which door do you wish to take? The one directly across from the mage's cabin, or the one directly across from the captain's cabin?
Which one did we investigate earlier?
The one that's directly across from the mage's cabin.
Because that's the one we think is empty, right? I say we go to that one. What do you guys think?
Absolutely. Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
And if you're not hurt, this is working well with you going in first.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I'm not. I still haven't gone through my 10 hit points, so I'm good.
All right. Go ahead and give me a set of stealth checks as you move across the deck.
How rude.
Night Saber. I typically do that too, but right now these fights are really kind of quick and dirty, and they're not lasting as long. I think the cinematic description really works well when the fight is pretty longer and earned. These guys have been just mopping the floor. I mean, I'm not even getting through 1 round or 2. I'm getting through 1 round of combat, so it's like, but I'll try and keep that up for future.
17 on stealth.
17 on stealth.
10
nice.
plus 7. Yeah, 10 plus
found
7.
it. What's your stealth?
9. Bad rolls keep on coming.
Alrighty, Carolee.
I had a 16 plus, so 19.
19. All right. Gilly, what about you?
9.
Alrighty. Well, I think they're gonna need inspiration again, guys. How about y'all? All right, moving in. You cross the deck. Gilly and I found it. You guys seem to find something to kind of trip on. So you think you're being quiet, but thankfully, though, there doesn't appear to be many people left on this deck. So it's kind of largely unnoticed as you move over across to this room over here. So who is going in first? Emmett, right? With Carolee opening the door?
Yeah.
Same plan.
Yeah.
Take
Sleight of hand
3.
again?
Yeah, go ahead and do your
Hopefully
sleight of hand to
okay.
open the door quietly.
All right, we'll see how it goes. Oh, not bad. 18.
All right, you go to open the door.
And I have chill touch readied, same as the other 2 doors.
All right, as you open this door and look inside, a crude metal stove, not lit, leans against the hull. It has an adjustable metal chimney that can be placed through the vent hole when it is open. Next to the stove is an open metal bin containing sticks of wood kindling. And beside this is a large wood table, bolted firmly to the deck. with a thick top crisscrossed with score marks. Table has a large drawer. Hanging from hooks set into the hull above the table are 2 iron frying pans, 2 saucepans, and a skillet. Set against the bulkhead opposite of the large cask, filled with a clear liquid. Beside this stands a wooden cupboard. Against the bulkhead beside the forward door is a wooden upright chair, and hanging from the center of the deck above is a unlit hooded lantern. Room is untouched. And there is a door against the wall, which, given this is probably the galley, that might be some type of storeroom.
Okay. Do we want to check the storeroom or do we want to go to the other door? Or do we want to check the door in here or do we want to go to the other door on the other side?
I would go the one up, the one that would mirror this one again. I think
Okay.
so.
I agree. I concur.
All right.
So what are we
And
doing?
by the way, Steve, your camera's off again, Steve.
Oh.
So we're going to take 4 on this little plan of how we're entering the doors and go to the other side.
So you're not going to go through the storeroom. You're going to move across. Okay. Just position
Sleight of hand.
carefully and then there. All right.
17
Touch
this
at the
time on
ready.
sleight of hand.
17 on your sleight of hand?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. 10:30. Okay. I think I think we're gonna call this one a good stopping point and check that next door on our next session. So otherwise, I have that. Depending on how that goes, we could be here a while longer. So I will leave that as the cliffhanger for tonight.
If it's a combat,
Well,
it would have been fast. Steve.
That tells us a lot. No, I have a feeling we're going to have the 2 or 3 officers in there is what I'm guessing.
That could be. It could be something else. It all depends on how you guys handle it. I'm thinking about all the various options, and not one of them is something that could be addressed in a few minutes. So we're gonna
So
take
not a bunch of
the
spiders.
take it as a cliffhanger for next week. What's behind the
Excellent.
door? Yes, Kit Matari, you're gonna have to wait till next week. Gonna have to wait till next week. Again,
Okay, but remember, 17 sleight of hand. 17 sleight of hand.
I'm making a note of that. 17 sleight of hand. In
And
initiative
next
orders.
week you don't open the door.
Does anybody still have my inspiration's gone? Anybody else have theirs?
Who still has
I still
inspiration?
have my last one.
Still have your last one?
Okay.
Yep.
I still have mine.
Oh
Awesome.
yeah, because I used it on the captain. So.
Yeah. So we still have a couple left. Gilly, do you still have yours?
I haven't even used any.
I used mine on that extra net 1.
Alrighty. Well, with that, thank you to the cast for spending the evening with us. Thank you to the chat for hanging out with us and for all those bits and subs and
Yes.
cheers. That is awesome. We managed to knock down that HP bar, it looks like 4 times, which is amazing.
Thank you.
As said, tune in for Scuba and the Rye on Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, as we hang out with Joel from Realmsmith and Mithril Armory and talk about all kinds of fun things. We might even get him to sing again. Who knows? I'll leave that up to the chat to beg for it. Before we sign off, I'll give everybody a chance to thank the chat and any plugs they wanna make. So we'll start with Gilly. What about you, sir?
No, but thank you to the chat and everybody providing us with inspiration and helping me out. Hopefully, with any bad rolls, and hopefully I don't have any. But you know, I'm
Dice
glad
are
I
very
have
fickle.
a co-host.
All right, Kara Lee. What about you, sir?
Thank you so much. I really appreciated it. Helped me out. I needed those temporary hit points when he smacked me pretty good. So that's good. So I appreciate it.
It works. I Fonded. How about you, sir?
Thank you all. Appreciate you watching.
Chad, anything you wish to say and plug and thank?
Yeah, obviously, thanks for the bits. Thanks for the inspiration, the 10 hit points. And please tune in Tuesday. You will like what you see and hear.
Very much. Very much. With that, go ahead and end the stream. Thank you again, everybody, for hanging out with us. It's without you guys, this wouldn't keep improving and growing. So be sure to follow if you haven't followed. Let people know via social media, hey, to come check us out Saturday nights, 8 p.m. And we will see you on for the next challenge. Good night, everybody.
Night. Bye.